So in fact, it was 19 years ago to this very day that I first began to work, if you can use that word, in advertising. And I quickly began to realize that this is an industry that was defined by the relentless pursuit of the answer to what might be a fairly simple question. What's the big idea? Now, I quickly realized this kind of pursuit of big wasn't something unique to the world of advertising. It was something that was incredibly pervasive across culture as we saw it today. Just take a look around at the world we live in nowadays. Think about politics and David Cameron's big idea of the big society. You can see it in aphorisms, go big or go home, the bigger, the better. And you see it in culture. The NBA is a place where sport goes big. Now, I guess for a while it made some kind of intuitive sense, the bigger the better. After all, surely big problems demand some type of big solution. Well, I'm not so sure, but that's actually the case. I think we've confused the ends with the means. Of course, we want to go and do stuff that has big results and in some way transforms the world for the better. But our obsession with big is hindering our ability to achieve real change in the world today. If you want to put a dent in the universe, I would argue you need, in fact, to think small. Size does indeed matter, but I would humbly suggest today that perhaps small is better. And I want to go and share 3 reasons why I believe this is the case. The first was made by Rory Sutherland in a past TED Talk, and he made a very eloquent case for why small actions can have big effects. Big problems do not, in fact, need to have big solutions. The example he used is one we learned from behavioral economics, where he looked at the world of saving for retirement. And despite all the efforts we may make as a society to encourage people to save more through government policy, through big communication, the best way to get people to save more is going to do something very small. It's to go and get companies to change the way you actually sign up for your retirement plan. If you go and switch the sign-up mechanism from being one which is about automatically defaulting to opt-in rather than opting out, retirement savings get boosted quite dramatically. Secondly, we seem to have lost sight that in culture today, the biggest ideas are those that in many ways disappear and become almost inconspicuous. Apple's success has come, I would argue, less from its admittedly beautiful industrial design, but the way the experience has been designed to reduce the friction in what you're trying to do. The same goes for the evil genius of Amazon's one-click button. We're living in an increasingly designed culture whose sole objective is to win people's trust by disappearing. So ideas seem today work best when they're small and inconspicuous. Finally, if we actually want to go out into the world and kind of grow, small helps us go and do that. In his book, Little Bets, Peter Shims shows how ideas don't arrive in the world fully formed. Rather, they're stumbled upon. We tend to stumble upon greatness. Pixar went from a failing software company to a successful film company by putting lots of little bets out into the world and seeing what worked. And this is something you see in popular culture. As Lorne Michaels famously said about SNL, one of its great reasons for success is the show doesn't go on because it's ready, it goes on because it's 11:30. So, my small idea this morning is to ask you to break the tyranny of big and how we think, work and do, and maybe try something a little bit small instead. Thank you.